Now that I've beaten Pokemon Blue, I also wanted to do the same thing I did, but this time in Johto, with two new added members to the team, those being Umbreon and Espeon. These two are great additions to the Eeveelutions. Honestly, design-wise, 10 out of 10, amazing. Umbreon is part of the brand new Pokemon type, the Dark type that was added to Gen 2, which apart from that is the Steel type as well, but sadly there's no Steel type Eeveelution. And then the other one is Espeon, which is part of the Psychic type. One of the Eeveelutions clearly has an advantage over the other. I guess Game Freak, in order to balance it, made it so Umbreon would be more of a tank, while Espeon is a somewhat fast and very offensive Pokemon in the special attack. Also, they made special attack and special defense be a different thing. Another thing is that in Gen 2, shiny Pokemon were added, and I wanted to show, this off in the video, so I added one of the best shiny Pokemon to the team, which is Umbreon. Shiny Umbreon is just too good. It's insane how good it is compared to shiny Espeon, which is in my opinion, a very ugly green. Anyhow, today we'll answer the question, can the Eeveelutions take on Johto? Alright, so I know that I said that this video is about the Eeveelution run, and it is, but I also wanted to talk throughout the video of my thoughts regarding this game. Not all of this will be negative, of course, but some of it will, because it's not a perfect game. But on the positive side, for example, I really enjoyed the start of the game. I like that the main professor you're helping is Professor Elm, but you're also helping Professor Oak with his research in Johto. The fact that Oak is the one that gives you the Pokedex also makes sense, since it's, how interconnected Johto and Kanto are, so it kind of brings the world more alive. Also, since Professor Oak specializes in the relationship between Pokemon and people, makes sense for him to give it, and he also kind of created the first Pokedex. Alright, say hello everybody. Back to Jet, Shocker, and Lit. They're back at it. I think I tried to, okay, yeah, then there's Dork, the shiny Umbreon, and Psych, the Espeon. I know I'm very good with names. You're welcome. I tried to use the same Pokemon, so they pretty much Lit, Psych, and not Lit. Fuck. Okay, so the first Eeveelutions, they're the same Pokemon from the previous run. They were just moved from Pokemon Blue to Crystal, while Umbreon and Espeon were created from the ether. I will say though, for example, in the previous run, we had the elemental moves from the very beginning, while this time we don't get them until level 13, if I remember correctly. Oh no, 16. So we get them at the second gym. So the second gym will be easy. But the first gym will probably be much harder than it should be, because we don't have any Thundershock or anything along the lines of that. Alright, so after a chat with the professor, talking to him, being like, yo, how's it going? He gives us the Pokedex, and his assistant gives us an egg. Well, an egg that we have to give to Professor M, and we'll later get it. After talking with him, we learn that somebody has robbed the professor, and we go back to investigate. On our way there, we actually meet the rival for the first time. I'm surprised nobody really does anything. We know he exists and all that, and we know where he's appeared and what he's going to do, because he wants to be the best trainer, right? So we know he's doing the challenges, the gym challenges, but the police never go to investigate or anything along the lines of that. So there's a bit weird, but it's a kid's game at the end of the day. So I'm just putting way too much thought into it. Yes. Anyways, we beat it because we outnumber him, 1 to 4, right? No, 5, 1 to 5. And so we go back to the professor, being like, yo, we know the guy's name. I call him Silver because that's his canonical name, if I remember correctly. And then he's like, yo, dude, that was pretty sick. You should do the Pokemon challenges, since the professor also gave you the Pokedex. And so we do. Alright, so before doing the gym, we go to Bellsprout Tower and find little Silver being a little bitch about yo, I only care about strong Pokemon and things like that. This is how, this is his character arc. Him finding that, friendship with the Pokemon is like good, you know. And honestly, like as a storyline, it's good. I like it. I enjoy it. Also, the fact that he ends up with a Crobat, I think he ends up with a Crobat, is also very good. I feel like his team should have been full of like friendship evolutions, at least the majority of them, or like maybe Pupitar, because it's a Pokemon like that you have to like really spend a lot of time with that Pokemon, nurturing it in order to really, you know, get that Tyranitar, that fucking beast. You know what I mean? So I feel like if Game Freak would have done that, really drive through, I guess is the word that I'm trying to say, like that he is working from someone who doesn't care about Pokemon to someone that he starts to care about his Pokemon because, hey, he keeps on losing and he's seeing that his ways aren't working. So I feel like, I don't know, Game Freak could have done it better. I guess it's one of my qualms with this Pokemon game, but honestly, it was pretty good. Anyways, so now we're just gonna go. I'm not really gonna comment on the Sage fight because it's not that important. And so now we go and fight Faulkner. Alrighty, so here we have to fight Faulkner. Also, I did that. I would just take my Pokemon to the level cap. So the level cap right now is level 9. Faulkner is the flying type trainer. Honestly, great. Flying type is a typing that wasn't used as a previous gym, which great, 10 out of 10, new thing. But my issue with it is that why does he only have a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto? You know, like I get it. Also, Pidgeotto doesn't evolve to level 18. So if they would have done that, I feel like if they would have given him a Hoot Hoot, is much better than just like 2 Pidgeys. Basically, because a Pidgeotto is from the Pidgey line, right? Because it's fine if you give him a Pidgey, because at the end of the day, Johto is an extension of Kanto, right? That's why the Elite Four only goes to level 50, because after Johto, you go into Kanto, which, you know, alright, that's completely fine, but I feel like if it would have been like, not a Hoot Hoot, a Noctowl and a Pidgey, boom, it like, even if it's just 2 Pokemon, because at the end of the day, the game isn't meant to be hard. It's meant to, you know, be enjoyable. Like, don't get me wrong, sometimes people enjoy hard games and like difficulties, but kids at the time, let's say maybe they were dumber. I doubt it, but let's say they were dumber. So maybe having just 2 Pokemon is enough, right? So I feel like if they would have just done that, perfect. Anyways, so to the actual fight, we're getting our ass whooped by the Pidgey, and same goes for the Pidgeotto. So our strategy is to lower its accuracy and lower its defense, so then Lit can kill it. We switched to Lit. Lit now is balling, and now 1 tackle does big boy damage. Actually, I lied. We haven't lowered the defense yet. I thought we did that, but I guess we didn't. So we're just gonna brute force it by just tackling. Also, I feel like Gust just has an increased accuracy because Gust was the move that just hit the majority of the time. Okay, finally there, but you get my point. Anyways, a crit for that Pidgeotto makes us get the dub, you know, easy dub. And that's how we beat Faulkner. Also, sorry if, you know, the way I'm doing it now is a bit weird. I mean, it's certainly different to the way I did it last time, but I just want to see how this goes, if it's good or not. Alrighty, so after going through Union Cave, Route 22 and Union Cave, we get to Bugsy's hometown, and we see that that Team Rocket, the team that, it's a callback to Gen 1, that was allegedly disbanded, is back, and they're doing some bad stuff, and we don't like that. We don't like that at all. So we go talk to this old man. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure they tell you why in the game, but I just muscled memory, I guess, and just went straight to the old man to talk to him. And he's like, yo, not in my watch. So we go deal with Team Rocket. Alrighty, so after dealing with all the rocket, that rocket fiasco and all that stuff, we level up. Well, we deal with the gym grunts, and we level everybody to level 16, meaning that we have finally gotten our elemental powers for the EVs. I guess elemental is the right word for it. Yeah, I don't know. So we're primarily gonna use lit. So this is Bugsy. Bugsy is honestly cool gym leader. Bug type, never seen before, and he doesn't have any Pokemon from Gen 2. It's pretty much the same issue that, Faulkner had. It's I don't know what Game Freak was smoking, if I'm being honest. They just didn't want him to have Gen 2 mons, which I don't know, man. I don't get it. Like, they could have given him a Scizor, or like not a Fortress, Pineco. A Pineco also makes sense. Spinarak, Lediba, but instead they give him a Metapod and a Kakuna, and then as his ace, Scyther, which, don't get me wrong, Scyther as an ace is good, because it's a strong Pokemon, better than having, a Metapod and a Kakuna. But it's just, I don't know, another swing and a miss, you know what I mean? Anyways, so Scyther's the only real quote-unquote issue, even though it's really not. Like, the Fury Cutters would start doing big damage when, like, maybe turn 4 of Fury Cutters, while my Ember does, like, 3 shots him. So, like, yeah, you see there? Like, maybe a little bit more damage than last time, but, like, my Ember pretty much just kills him in 3 shots, and then the third Fury Cutter did, like, 10 damage. So, it's just a skill issue. So that's how we beat our boy Bugsy. But after that, we get a surprise from our boy Silver. He decides to appear, and we gotta fight him now, because we can't be losing. Losing is not what we do. Anyways, so this fight is pretty easy, honestly, now that we have confusion. So first up is Ghastly. We go with a good old one tap of, yeah. Is the good old confusion, just kind of one shots the Ghastly, because I don't know if he already beat Bugsy, but I don't know how he would beat him with a level 12 Ghastly. Maybe, I don't. Anyways, another confusion to the Zubat, one shots. The only thing that's left is the Quilava, I think, at this time. Yeah, the Quilava. So Quilava is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool Pokemon. Also, I never understood why he had a Ghastly. Like, why Gengar? Gengar makes no sense. You know? I don't know. At least to me, it makes no sense. Maybe people can tell me. Why a Gengar? You know? Why Gengar? Why? So we switch to Jet. Water Gun, his face, it gives us to a 2-shot. He did smoke screen us, so we missed because of that. But we do it again because we are people with resolve, and our resolve is so high enough that we can Water Gun and hit this time. Resolve? Is that the word? Resolve? Yeah. I passed high school, I swear. So yeah, that's how we beat the man. And after that, it's time to fight another gym leader, which is the very annoying and notoriously known for just destroying people for some reason, Whitney. Anyways, so this is Whitney. She's a child. She says that she's good, and honestly, maybe it's the Pokemon that I have. Maybe that's why. But I think from what I remember, it was pretty easy. It got annoying. I think this battle is just more annoying than easy. Though I will say, thankfully, she does have like Pokemon from Gen 2, that being like her ace Miltank. So good job, Nintendo, I guess, in that sense. But yeah, no, honestly, she is kind of strong if you're able to just let her roll at you, because the Clefairy is pretty easy. she just double slaps, and I think that's about it. I can metronome into something that can do something strong, but the AI I don't think is smart enough to be like, yo, let's try metronome, you know? Anyways, the Miltank's up, so I said, you know what, let's be smart about this. Sand attack, because I knew that she would start rolling out. Something I've noticed is that the majority of my Pokemon are males, which is terrible because she has Attract. So yeah. So all I'm doing now is basically just sand attacking till she's -6, I think, if I remember correctly. When it comes to gym leaders, I've been making it so, I think at least since Bugsy, I don't recall for Faulkner, but I've been making it so I don't, I don't lose Pokemon. I make it, I guess, harder on myself. But yeah, no, so I don't know how she failed Attract. I didn't get it. Anyways, so after the -6 defense drops, I decide to just lower its defense, I think till -4, because honestly, I didn't realize it, but Flareon does surprisingly high amount of damage. Like, I know he's a physical attacker, but his physical attack stat is surprisingly high. I think at this time, he has 61 attack and 62 HP, which is insanely high if I'm being honest. So I got pretty lucky there. But I did not get lucky that she hit the Attract after being -6 in accuracy drops. So I just said screw it. We switch out. What am I trying to do? Anyways, what am I doing? I just want to see the... Alright, anyways, so we switched to Psych, because it's... I was looking if it's male or female, who is male or female, and that's when I realized that Psych is my only female. Right, so it wouldn't go for an Attract, I switched to Psych, and then it's a clean switch to Lit. Well, not that clean, because we get hit pretty hard, but... And I actually wasn't sure if she outsped me or not, but one single headbutt does the trick. Then here comes the annoying part, which is pretty much the same thing with the last gym leader, which she is a sore loser. Well, this one starts crying, the other one thankfully doesn't cry. I was kind of confused at first because I forgot. Like, I knew she cried, but I forgot that I had to walk out and then walk back in, which is an annoying thing from Game Freak. I'll probably talk more about what's her face when her time comes. So, Gym 8. Alrighty, so after doing the Sudowoodo thing and entering Ecruteak City, we find Usain and Morty in the Burn Tower being like, yo, Suicune, Raikou and Entei are pretty freaking cool. So that's pretty cool. And we also meet our rival, Silver, because he's like, yo, strong legendary Pokemon? That's pretty freaking cool. Don't mind if I do, because he thought he could catch it for some reason. Maybe his RNG is insane. We never know. Anyways, so Silver is still a piece of cake, honestly. Like, now he has a Haunter, which is strong, but I also have an Umbreon with Pursuit and resist all of his ghost type moves that he has, and I'm a wall overall, so it's pretty unlikely, at least with the Haunter. I do get paralyzed though. I also could have switched into Psych and just Confusion and one-shot it, but I guess I wanted Dork to have some game time, you know. Anyways, next up is the Zubat, and let's see if I just okay, I switch. That's smart of me. I think it's either Psych or Shocker. Those are the only two options, and I go into Shocker. Alrighty. So it's Supersonic. I hit myself again, and then I switched to Psych because I just couldn't do anything about it. So, Shocker did a great job there. So we just Confusion and one-shot him. No trouble at all. We don't count Shocker. So yeah, next up is the Magnemite, which I think all we do is switch to Lit. Yeah, alright, yeah. So I'm gaming. Yes, okay, I'm gaming. So we just switch to to Lit and Ember. And he Sonic Booms us, which is big damage. 20 damage in the early game is pretty good. Oh, he doesn't die. It's as if he had sturdy, but he ain't sturdy with it. I think that was meant to be a joke. Anyways, thankfully we kill here and we outspeed because we would have been left at like 2 HP. So yeah, next up is the Quilava. All we do is switch to Jet, and I think Jet just one-shots it, even if it's like one level below it, if I remember correctly. He quick attacks us, does some good damage because of it's a crit, but he chooses to Leer and it fails. I still don't understand how Leer fails. I don't get it. Anyways, so goes for a smoke screen. Let's see if our resolve is high, like last time. It indeed is. So it dies to a water gun, and that's pretty cool. Anyways, after defeating Silver for another time, even though he's like, oh, he's whatever, dude. You suck, anyways. We fall through a hole, and like he just disses at us for some reason, and then we find stone statues of Raikou, Entei, and Suicune, and then those statues turn into the real thing. So they turned into statues? So Hoa turned them into statues. So then they just like jumped around and dipped. I never really understood that. Now looking back at it, it seems like they were turned into statues. Anyways, you've seen once to really meet Suicune for some reason. And with that done, we go fight Morty. Alrighty, so now here comes Morty. Morty, we do have an Umbreon, and we do have an Espeon. So that should tell you how things are gonna go. So I'm just gonna ramble on about how terrible picking a ghost type gym leader is. First of all, like, there are only technically 2 species of ghost types, right? There are only 2 species. 1 Misdreavus, 2 Gengar line, right? That's why also I have an issue with like Agatha being a solo ghost type trainer. I talked about it in the other Eeveelution video. So yeah, okay. So there are only 2 ghost type options, and Game Freak chose to not give Morty Misdreavus, which is the only other option it has. So they, instead of giving Misdreavus, said, I bet we're gonna give a Ghastly, 2 Hunters, and a Gengar. I'm fine with like giving the Gengar line. Sure, that's completely fine, because yeah, there's a finite number of ghost types. Also, there are other options for ghost types. Like, there could have, like, typings were done poorly, I think, in Gen 2. I think I might do a video about like fixing Gen 2 Pokemon types. I'll probably do that some other day, but that's besides the point. So yeah, why is Misdreavus maybe not the ace, but at least the starter, you know, like the first Pokemon you see? Like, I am just so confused. I just don't get it. I'm confused. I said it. I'm confused. All I'm saying. Anyways, so Dork just kind of runs through the entire gym except for the last Hunter. So I said, okay, we just go into Psych and call it a day. And that's pretty much all I do. And then I don't think a single confusion. No. Yeah, 1 confusion kills. 1 confusion kills here, because I'm like 4 levels above it. and it's a stab confusion from an Espeon, right? Yeah, so that's how I beat Morty. Morty was another pushover. Maybe having like really strong Pokemon is why it's become a bit of a pushover. Alrighty, so now we have to fight Chuck. I skipped over the fact like showing whoa, the Light Tower Pokemon is sick. Which also the fact that there's only one Pokemon as a Light Tower makes no sense. Also the fact that the special medication that you need is in a whole different island also makes no sense. But that's besides the point. We have an Espeon. Espeon is strong, has stab confusion, so one shots the Primate because also Primate stats aren't that good when it comes to special defense. Next up is the Poliwrath. Poliwrath does tank a hit. He does tank it. I mean, tank it is the wrong word because it's a 2-shot. But it's still able to surf us, which I think the surf does decent damage to me. It's decent. Kind of decent. It's alright damage. So yeah, no, a second confusion does the trick. And that's how we beat Chuck. Honestly, Chuck, you know, the same issue with fighting types, not giving him the right amount of fighting types from the right gen and all that stuff. But hey, I'm just repeating myself, so I don't really want to beat the dead horse already, you know? We also get Fly now, so we can start flying around. Okay, up next is, we don't do the Steel type gym yet. We go and fight, do the whole Team Rocket thing, but before doing that, we fight the shiny Gyarados. I don't catch it, cause one, I don't need it, and two, I already got the shiny, you know what I mean? And mine is much better. Shiny Umbreon is better than shiny Gyarados. You can fight me on it, but you will be wrong if you choose to do it that side. Also, it's a bit of a shocker that I don't actually kill it with one Thunder Shock. I mean, I guess it's only a Thunder Shock and it's a fully evolved Pokemon like the Gyarados, but it's also quad weak to it. I give it like an Ultra Ball to see if it chooses to stay in the ball, but it doesn't. So the shiny kills the shiny. Alrighty, so now we have to deal with Team Rocket. I was just shocked the fact that like Lance just freaking hyper beams Civilian. Like, don't get me wrong, he's a crook and all that stuff, but he hyper beams Civilian. Also, something that never really sit right with me was the fact that how did Lance know where Team Rocket was? You know, like, that just was the one thing I never really understood. You know, maybe like he was still looking into Team Rocket even though like they were like disbanded, and he knew that. That was just the one thing I never understood. Like, maybe if like Giovanni told him, that would make sense. But hey, that's just me. So then now we fight this Rocket executive. I forget his name, but I guess so he's the one that's like spearheading, like trying to get Giovanni back on Team Rocket and all that stuff. He should probably have a name. Rocket Executive is kind of bad, but I guess maybe, I don't know, technology back in the day maybe just wasn't as good as before. Anyways, so we got given Surf pretty early on, so because of that, life is easy. Life is very easy. Like, it's, I don't think one shot everything, but it's at least a 2-shot, you know. Also, it was a fun mechanic here that we both quick attacked. But yeah, no, it's, yeah, no, Surf is just too strong. I don't get it why they just gave me Surf. Anyways, so there's a coughing, so I just confusion him and he dies. Then there's a fight up ahead and like the whole like electrode thing, but I'm just gonna skip into the next gym leader. So the next gym leader to beat is Bryce, the ice type gym leader. Honestly, Pokemon wise, they did alright. Like they could have given other Pokemon, maybe a Lapras, instead of a Dugong and a Seal. But honestly, it's fine. His ace is a Piloswine, which is, you know, the main. At least the ace is from Johto. So yeah, no, he starts with a Seal, which is not a water type, which is not an ice type, so that's weird. So we just go into Shocker and kind of let him deal with Seal and Dugong. It's not that hard. Also, the reason I went Bryce, I went Chuck Bryce, and then Steel Lady. What's her name? Man, I'm just terrible with names. Is because for some reason Steel Lady has a higher level cap than Bryce, even though like technically you should be doing Bryce after her. But I don't know. They're like the leveling when it comes to like Gen 2 is fucking insane. Like it's not a level curve, it's a fucking level mountain. Like you reach a point and then it's just like a line that goes all, you know, like it's not a curve, it's a steep line with like 85 degrees up, you know what I mean? So it's crazy. I was crazy once. They put me in a rubber room with rats, and rats make me crazy. That's gonna date the video. Anyways, so Dugong should just die. He doesn't do that much damage either way. Does he? Does he do? Oh, Headbutt might do big damage actually. It did put me in the red, so there's that. Good job to Seal and Dugong. You got one Pokemon to 17 HP. Yeah, no man, we're just built. You know what I mean? Built different. So yeah, next up is Steel Lady. I'll probably say her name when Sabrina. No, Sabrina's Steel. Is Psychic. I don't remember, dude. Alrighty. So Jasmine. Jasmine is the name of the woman, of the Steel Lady. Although funnily enough, like in the lore, she used to be a rock type trainer. So I think like her ace would have stayed the same as Onyx, but like she would have had like rock type Pokemon instead of Steel, which I guess like lore wise, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so they give her a Magnemite, 2 Magnemites, and a Steelix. Steelix is fine because, you know, it's a pretty cool Pokemon. It's also a good Pokemon. Steel type. But why 2 Magnemites, you know? Like, they could have given her, like, a Fortress. Like, it could have been first of all, a Magneton, not a Magnemite. Then secondly, like a Fortress. Or, what's another Steel type? Jirachi, you know? But yeah, no, like, I don't get it. Like, if it would have been, like, no, because then, like, their fire weakness is very high. What's a Steel water type in this gen? I don't think there is any. Whatever, it is what it is. So against Steelix, I think we just serve. And I think it's a 2-shot. I mean, Steelix only has high defense, not special defense. So yeah, it's a 1-shot. Because water does not, Steel does not resist water. That I never really understood. Like, some things make sense when it comes to, like, type charts. And then some other things make no sense, like the fairy type being immune to dragon. Like, why are they immune to dragon? Like, maybe not very effective, but not immune, you know? But I guess it was just for balance issues. Anyways, Lit just deals with the Magnemites, and Jet dealt with the Steelix. The boys, the Kanto boys are gaming, you know what I mean? And he doesn't even get hit by the confusion. So that's how you know Lit is just built different. So yeah, that's how we beat her. Next up is... Wait, after Jasmine is the 8 Yeah, it's the 8th trainer lady. Oh wait, no. Next up is like the Team Rocket thing. Honestly, I might just skip it because the video's already long enough. Yeah, I'll just do that. Alright, so I couldn't completely skip the Team Rocket thing because there is a silver arrival fight. So I think I even forgot when playing the game. No, maybe I didn't, because I did have Shocker in the front. I don't know, man. Yeah, no, so just I think he ends up with a Crobat, right? He has to end up with a Crobat. Why do I... Okay. Yeah, no, he ends up with a Crobat. Maybe not for the final fight, but I think for, like, the champion rematch, I think he has a Crobat. I don't know, I could be wrong. I forget. It's like, I've been doing this for, like, 2 hours or so, and it's 5:45 in the morning for me. So it's just, my brain be not working. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. So, yeah, no, so we're just, like, Lit just doesn't get paralyzed. I don't think he's ever gone paralyzed once. Which I think I just jinxed myself, because I think against the Vileplume, Karen's Vileplume, I think we do get paralyzed. I don't know, man. I forget. So we're gonna switch, right? Right? Yes, good man. I go into Dork this time. Alright. Very nice. Mean look is a interesting animation. Yeah, no, so 2 pursuits actually kill it. Oh no, it killed itself with a curse. Let's go. And I think curse doesn't stay as long as the opposing Pokemon, like the one that uses curse, if it dies, then the curse disappears as well. I could be wrong. I don't know, man. No, because even later in, I think I remember. Yeah, no, I think that's how it works. Anyways, against the Sneasel. Also, Sneasel, they either should have made him stronger, or maybe they already knew that they were gonna make, like, the Weavile, but for some reason didn't implement it until Gen 4. I don't know, man. I don't know. Я не знаю, you know? So, yeah, no, Lit just never got paralyzed. That's insane. The last thing to deal with, I can speak proper English, is, the Quilava. So we're just gonna surf. I have no clue why I'm doing this voice. My brain, like, I'm starting to, like, my eyes are getting blurry. I should probably go to bed. But if I go to bed now, I'll wake up late for class. So I feel like I should just... I'll just stay up and then be like, yo, insomnia is hitting hard, which it is, honestly. Like, insomnia is pretty... like, part of the reason why I'm doing this is because I just sometimes don't sleep. And I want to, you know, use my time somewhat good. Because I can't study when I'm practically dead. Like, my brain not worky, you know? So yeah, anyways, that's enough about me. So next up is the eighth gym leader. And yeah. Alrighty. So now it's Claire. I forget. I remembered as soon as I pressed play. So that's great. Yeah, so Claire is up. It's the other gym leader that's a sore loser. Well, Whitney just kind of cried. So she wasn't a sore loser, she just cried. Claire, on the other hand, she was a sore loser, which really makes her likable. Anyways, that's besides the point. So we actually have a hardish time when it comes to Claire, because the Aurora Beam didn't seem to one-shot. So because of that, we got, like, paralyzed. So that meant, like, we were always gonna be slower. And, like, we took damage. Also, the fact that she has 2 Dragonairs makes no sense, but again, they're only, like, there's the Dragonair line and then the Kingdra line. Well, Kingdra as dragons, which is another thing, yeah, I might actually make the changing like Pokemon's typings for like each region. I might do that actually. Might be good. Might be a fun idea. Anyways, we got blasted, and we weren't able to kill there. And I don't think I have Quick Attack. I don't have Quick Attack on Jet. So I think we just go into Shocker. We go into I think we should have gone into Psych, and if I didn't, then that's a misplay from my side. That's a misplay. Is it a misplay? What the frick am I doing? I go into Dork. Because I tried to see his stats and they weren't synced. So I go into Shocker. Alright, perfect. So it goes for a Thunderbolt. That's good. That's not good. No bueno. So we Thundershock. Because I knew I was going to outspeed. Because thankfully when it comes to speed, Jolteon is very good. Next up is another Dragonair, and that's why we're in trouble, because now we don't have anything super effective against it. Which leads to then the what's it called? The Kingdra fight be very hard. Very muy difícil, you know what I mean? We get Thunder Waved, which electric types being paralyzed makes sense, I guess. But I feel like if they would have kept that thing, I feel like if electric types got paralyzed, it would have made it so they're technically faster. I feel like that would make a lot more sense than just them not being able to get paralyzed. Because technically, if you try to paralyze an electric type, you're overcharging it with electricity, meaning that they should be moving faster. So I feel like it would have been a fun little gimmick. Kind of like Guts increases your attack stat if you're like statist. I feel like electric types should have had that. If they're like paralyzed, then like their speed doubles. Not doubles. Doubles might be a bit too much, because then electric types would kind of run VGC. VGC, is that no? VGC is a trading card game, no? I don't know. The double thing, whatever. No, it's VGC. It is VGC. Anyways, so here comes the hard part, Kingdra. I think we do the same thing we did to the Dragonair, which is lower defense, lower accuracy, and then finish it off. But anyways, so we kind of take a Surf like a champ. Kind of. It's more damage than I would like to take. But so we just confuse it. Umbreon finally got Confuse Ray, so we can be a little bit more annoying. So we do Confuse Ray into Feint Attack. Alright. How the heck did I beat it deathless? Because Dragon Breath puts us at 39 HP, so I think a Surf doesn't kill, so I think a High Roll Surf does though. And a crit also kills here. Thankfully it hits itself with Confusion, so our Feint Attack is able to really go through. I think okay, so now I switch into Psych, because Psych is kind of especially bulky. But Claire does use the Hyper Potion, which muy annoying, but it is what it is. So then we just Sand Attack it, and after Sand Attacking, I think we go into Defense dropping, if I remember correctly. I think I do that, yeah. It is very fun gameplay, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna speed up the video overall, so then it's shorter. It's still, I think, a long video, but because I didn't think like these videos would be that long, but now like getting all the footage and all that stuff, and the way I'm doing it makes it longer, because like there's some form of freeform commentary rather than scripted. So that kind of makes it longer than it needs to be. Anyways, so it's been missing. It's been missing hyper beams, which is great for me because we were able to take it out with a side beam. So yeah, no, after that, Claire is like, "Ooh, I lost? I don't believe it. So now go and do that other shit." But I'm just gonna cut that. Alrighty, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The video's a bit too long, so I'm gonna make this into a two-parter. Didn't realize that it would take this long, but hey, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, the ones that are still watching. But yeah, no. The second part should come in like a week after the video comes out, because I'm planning on doing like these can I beat videos every once a month. So the other one will come basically a week afterwards.